Good morning, everybody. So you've come to Google Classroom, and today we're going to start investigating the candidates and seeing what their positions are. You remember when we looked at the process for voting, first we have to register, then we have to look at the issues, we have to decide sort of where our political leanings are, and then we really have to investigate the candidates so that we can make an informed voting choice. So this is your independent voter research template. Again, this is in Google Classroom. You can see the learning targets. One, history. You can use the inquiry process to gather applicable evidence to explain causes and effects of events, in this case, the coming election. And learning target number 2, you can work independently and turn in quality work on time. So if you come down here, you'll see there's directions. You're going to use the research organizer below to identify the candidates and their positions on issues important to you. The first 2 issues I based on your feedback. The third is your choice. And the first thing that you're going to notice is each of the candidates has a link. So I've already provided you with the link to that candidate's website. So in this case, we're going to look at environment or equality. That's your choice. I'm going to click on David Zuckerman. He's a candidate for governor. I'm going to click on his website. And we're looking specifically for his stance on the environment or equality, right? So this Vermont for All, that looks probably like it's about equality, so I'm going to click on that. And it says Vermont should be a place where all feel welcome. Unfortunately, this is not always the case. We must work to remove societal biases and laws that disproportionately harm non-majority communities in Vermont. We must lift up women, Indigenous Vermonters, Vermonters of color, LGBTQIA Vermonters, etc. So we must stand up against hate speech. So David Zuckerman, his administration is working hard to make sure that underrepresented and diverse voices are invited to participate. So I'm going to go back to my research, and I'm going to use a bulleted list. I'm going to use a bulleted list to keep that nice and neat. So I'm going to say here, equality. Zuckerman wants to provide all Vermonters with a voice and access to, I'm just going to say sort of to the public, I'm going to say to public affairs. So what I'm doing here is I am reading and comprehending what Mr. Zuckerman or Lieutenant Governor Zuckerman, what he thinks about equality, and then I'm summarizing his ideas into my notes. And so there's a couple things going on here. Number 1, I am reading and comprehending. Number 2, I'm looking at digital media and text and finding the information I need. And then number 3, I'm summarizing in my notes. So if you look here, women's rights are human rights. Women should be paid equally and treated equally. I'm going to come back here and I'm going to write women should be treated and paid equally. Notice how I am not cutting and pasting because that doesn't do anything to help me learn. Instead, I'm reading, processing, and then summarizing myself. One little trick I'm going to show you, if you highlight your bulleted list, you can then go up to Format, line spacing, and then add a space after the list item. So now it's nice and neat. So you can see here that I've started the process of investigating the candidates for governor. I looked at David Zuckerman, I used the website, and I'm starting to figure out how candidate Zuckerman feels about equality. So this is the expectation for today, that you are going to go through each of these candidates and that you are going to find their positions on environment or equality, healthcare, COVID, and then you have your choice of issues. Okay, I'm going to ask that you do the governor of Vermont, the president of the United States, and then just a local election here, state senator. And then finally, if you feel like it, you can also do an office of your choice. Thanks very much, good luck, and remember, the most important thing about voting is that you're an informed voter who's taking action and lending your voice to the process. Thanks very much, and good luck.